Hello everybody, it's Brad. In this video we're going to talk about the new Redwork tool that was released in the latest update to Floriani Total Control U. If you're not sure if you have the latest update or not, you can go ahead and check by going to your Help menu up here at the top and choosing About. If you hit About here, then it's going to show you the build number. The most current build is 2810, so if you're not on build 2810, you're going to need to update the program, and you can do that easily by going up to Help and choosing Check for Updates. It will open up to show you the latest version, 2810, and here you can click to download the latest version and it'll download it to your computer. You just run the file that this downloads and just agree to everything that it asks you, basically. Just say yes, okay, next, whatever the positive response is, and eventually it will have updated your software. Now, when you are updating, you have to close your Floriani software or it will not work. So make sure that before you run the program, the installation program for the update, that you close your Floriani software. Okay, so anyway, go ahead and get that done, and I'll wait here. Okay, so everybody should now be updated to build 2810, and one of the new things that's added in this is this tool right here. It's blacked out right now because I don't have anything selected, or I don't have a backdrop up for it to trace, but this here is a new magic wand. It's a Redwork magic wand. Basically, what it'll do is instead of tracing the area inside of a shape, it'll trace the outline of the shape itself. So this is useful for creating quilting designs, Redwork particularly. Now, how does this work in practice? Well, if you've got a picture that has a nice solid black outline, then you can use this tool, theoretically. And I'll get to that theoretically in a moment here. But just to show you kind of the idealized version of how this is supposed to work, let's bring up a picture as a backdrop over here. On our left-hand toolbar, our backdrop is this one. It's got a little picture of mountains in the background. We're going to left-click on that, and we're going to. I'm actually going to choose this flower design here, this rose rather. And just hit open. That's going to be on the CD for those of you who come to my classes in person. So we've got this rose here, and we see that it's very basic. It's only got, only 4 colors to it, and it has this nice thick black outline. So the traditional magic wand tool, what this would do if I were to click on my outline, is it would actually trace the inside and the outside of my outline. So let me go ahead and show you what that looks like. I'm going to hit the backdrop tool again and hide my backdrop. And so what it's actually done is it's traced, see, both the inside and the outside of that line, which is not particularly useful if I want to turn this into a running stitch. That's going to look goofy. Nobody would do a free motion that way to make a Redwork design. So, that's not going to work. So let me go ahead and undo that and bring back my backdrop, and this time we're going to use the Redwork tool to do this. So we're going to left click on this. It's got the red star at the top of the magic wand to let you know that it's for Redwork. And now I'm going to just go ahead and zoom in a little bit by scrolling my mouse wheel in, and I'm going to click on the outline. Okay, now let's go and hide my my backdrop again, by left-clicking on the backdrop tool, or right-clicking on the backdrop and choosing Show Backdrop. And now we can see that it's traced just the middle line, and that looks pretty good. Also, whenever you trace with the magic wand tool, it automatically makes its stitches for you. So this is already going to be a bean stitch. Let's put it in 3D. Click the 3D block over here so that you can see that. See, these are actually stitches. If I select the stitches, I can see that the stitch type is bean, the stitch length is 3. It actually defaults to the settings for doing Redwork. So in a nutshell, that's how it should work. Now, in reality, it does not work this way with basically anything that you're going to go find as artwork to use. The tool just isn't that great at picking out what color to trace. So with this particular image, why this worked is, let me scroll, let me put the backdrop back on. I'm going to delete these stitches out of here so that we can see what I'm talking about here. Let's go ahead and delete the, oops, I have the backdrop selected and not the stitches. Delete the stitches, and let's zoom in real close in this picture. You see how this black is perfectly black, and there's no like shadows coming off of it. It's like a perfect black line all the way around this whole thing. That's because this design is specifically made for showing off tools like the backdrop tool, or not the backdrop, like the Redwork tool. It is a design that was crafted just to show what embroidery digitizing programs can do, and that's how pretty much anybody that shows you how to use this program is going to do it. They're going to use a design that was made to be done, which, honestly is a little disingenuous, I think, because you're never going to be able to use it that way with any artwork that you go download. Now, luckily, there are ways around this, but it's not going to be just as simple as that, and I'll show you what I mean. Let me open up a different backdrop here by going up to the backdrop tool here, and I'm going to right-click on my backdrop and choose Load Backdrop. This is going to let me bring up a different backdrop image. So Load Backdrop here, and let's see, we'll choose this Cartoon Santa design here. Just to start with. Okay, so we open up Cartoon Santa, we'll make him bigger, and we look at him, we can see he's got a black outline going all the way around him, right? Black outline, and it's actually, for such a small-ish image, it really looks not that bad. In terms of the fact that the blackness is fairly black throughout. Now we can see that there's a little bit of shadow, like the edge is kind of shadowed here, so but you can see that there's a black current throughout the whole design. Like it should be able to trace this, one would think. So let's go ahead and grab our Redwork tool and click, and oh, it just dings at me. There we go. Oh, we got his arm. Now it didn't really trace the crook of his arm very well. It just kind of beeps at me here. It can't find any colors that are the same. Here we've managed to get part of his face. Now it only gave me the tip of his mustache there, but you see what I mean. It's not able to do that, and it's going to be that way with almost anything that you download over the internet. So, you find a picture of something that you want to turn into Redwork. Well, chances are it's going to be not able to trace that for you. So what I want to show you is a way to cheat and get around that. So what we're going to do is we're going to need to find something to convert to Redwork, and we're going to do it by downloading an image over the internet. So I want you to open up your web browser. Let's go ahead. I'll use my Internet Explorer, and you're going to go to Google, and from google.com just click on Images. And what I want to search for is something that's already Redwork. So let's say I want to do I don't know, I want to do a Redwork. So we'll look up Redwork patterns. Redwork patterns. Okay. And we get a list of all these different images here. So what we want is, just like when we're auto-digitizing, we want to have as large an image to work with as possible. So we're going to go to, let's see, we're going to go to Search Tools here and change our size to large and see what we come up with. And we can actually do the technique that I'm about to show you can be done off of a photograph or off of just a line drawing. So if you find like a line drawing, like something that would be like a page out of a quilting book or something like that, that would work. Or any of these ones that are actually photo, like this flower here. This is 2,000 pixels by 2,000 pixels. This is a pretty big image. Okay, so we can look at this little down here. It's showing us how many pixels. If it's over 1,000 by over 1,000, that's pretty good. So this is good. So let's see. We click on this and we'll look at it up close. I'll hit View Image here so we can really see it up close. So we can see this is actually a photograph of some Redwork that someone has done. And we can actually work with this. Now, it's not going to let us trace this just using the Magic Wand tool, and I'll show you that. But there is a secret trick that I want to show you. So we're going to save this image. We're going to right-click on it, choose Save Picture As. I'm going to save it to my pictures library. You save it wherever you want. Let's see, the name of it's Redwork Rose. I'm just going to hit Save. Now, this could be with any design that you decide you want to do it with. I'm going to have this particular file on the CD for those of you that are following at home, or if you're just over the internet watching this video, just do what I did. Go to Google, search for the Redwork pattern, and find this particular image and download it. So we've got this design here, and we're going to go back to our program. I'm going to delete all the stitches that I made on Santa by just clicking and dragging a box around them in the sequence view here and hitting the delete key. I want to change my backdrop. I click my backdrop tool over here, right click and choose load backdrop. Now I saved this image to my pictures library. So I hit libraries, pictures, and here it is, Redwork Rose, and we'll hit open. And now I can go and try and get my Redwork tool to trace this. So I'm going to click on my Redwork tool, zoom in somewhere on here, and it traced just this one little area, another little area. So if I do it this way, it's going to stop and start, and I'm actually surprised that it's doing it as good as it is, but it's still, there, we only got this little tiny segment. What we want is for it to convert this whole thing at once so that we don't have little tiny segments going. If we were to sew this out, it'd be jumping all around, it would be a mess. So we want it to be able to trace this whole thing in one go. And so the way that we're going to do that is we're going to actually cheat. We're going to take advantage of the way that this program treats images that you want to auto-digitize. We're going to take advantage of the way that it does that to create a JPEG of this where the red, oops, I didn't mean to zoom in like that, where the red is all one color red. So if we zoom in here, we can see that this red is, as a photograph, it's all these different shades of red, really. So we're going to go in and reduce that and make this so that it's just one color. Okay, so before I start, I'm gonna delete the what's in my, the little things that I've traced here. Just go and select all in the sequence view and hit the delete key. I'm gonna hide my backdrop here. I'm gonna left click on the backdrop tool, right click, and choose show backdrop to make that go away. And now we're going to do our cheating. So you're going to go up to the top toolbar here, and you're going to choose auto digitizing. It's the one with the little wizard hat. Now we're not going to be auto digitizing. We're just going to use part of the auto digitizer to do this. So we're going to click on the little wizard hat, and now you have to select your image. So I'm going to hit select image. I point it to the Redwork Rose design and hit open. Okay, we're just going to hit next at this point, and we're going to hit next again. And we're just going to wait till it gets to the next screen. If you ever see this up here where it says not responding, don't click anything. It's not crashing. It's just taking a while to do what it's doing. So if you start clicking around, that's when it'll crash. But if you see that not responding and you just leave it alone, chances are it'll get to where it's going eventually, like mine did. Okay, so here we go. So this is the design. This is what it sees. It took the design and kind of simplified it a little bit for us, and now we're going to go in and simplify it even more by going and hitting edit image here. Okay, so we're going to left click on edit image. It's going to open up our rows in MS Paint here, and what we want to do here is we can actually see that it did a good job of blending all those different disparate reds into one. And we're going to just double check that. I'm going to choose red up here at the top, and then use my paint bucket tool for fill with color, my fill with color paint bucket tool here. We're going to left click on that and then click somewhere inside. And that way we can see that it did indeed manage to make all this outer line one color. Okay, so we can see that this spot is a different color, and that these spots that weren't connected. Okay, so we can be absolutely sure that this whole thing is one color. Okay, now there are a couple of spots where the design's not linked together. Right here and right here, they aren't touching. The outline isn't touching. So we're gonna fix that. We're gonna go up to the pencil tool here, pencil. And then we're going to change the size to the largest size. And what we're going to do is just left click and drag to connect these areas together. Now, it doesn't matter that this is all wobbly out here. That is fine. For our purposes with doing this Redwork design, this can be all wobbly and crazy and feathered on the edge and everything, because it's not tracing the outside edge of it. It's tracing the middle of it. So it's okay that this is all wild like this, but we do have to have it all connected. So I'm just left clicking. And again, this doesn't have to be perfect. What we're doing right here, this does not have to be perfect at all. We just go ahead and color it in, and then here I want to link this up so that that's connected. Look for any areas where there's a gap in the outline. Now these are by design. This is okay. Right here, this is a little bit of detail in here. That's fine. We can leave that alone. And actually, I think on the original image this wasn't connected. Now I'm going to actually connect it. artistic license, make it however I want it. So anywhere that you see a gap, and I might be missing one, I don't know, I'm not looking probably as carefully as I could. I'll fill this spot in right here. Right here where it's really, really thin, you might want to fatten it up a little bit too. And then you can just ignore every other color in it because we're not going to trace the beige. We're not going to trace anything else. So you only need to worry about the color of your outline. And just make sure that it's all one uniform color. That's the key. The key is that the outline is one color. That's what it has to be. Okay, so we've got all, it looks to me like this is all fine. Now normally what we would do here is we would choose exit and hit save if we were going to do an auto-digitized design. That's not what we're doing today though. We're doing tracing off of a backdrop. And so what we can do here is go up to the little paint menu here. It looks like a little open book or something like that. You're going to left click on that and you're going to choose save as and then move your mouse over to JPEG. Okay, you're going to save as a JPEG picture. So we're going to left click on that and then we want to rename this something else like Flower Revised or something to that effect. Okay, as long as it's not as long as it's something that you'll remember. Okay, so we just go ahead and click save. Okay, very good. Now we can exit this. We can exit this and we can exit the auto digitizing wizard as well. Just exit both of those things. We're going to click on our backdrop tool and it just comes up with the last thing that you had up. So this was our original artwork. We're going to right click this and choose load backdrop and we're going to change it to, where are you? Oh, you know what? I think I had that saved in the wrong place actually. I think I saved it to I saved it to my digitizing images folder. Here it is, Flower Revised. So you just want to make sure that you remember where you save stuff to, because you can get into a lot of trouble if you forget where you save things. But here's the design. Here's the one that we saved. Okay, Flower Revised. And all we got to do now, go up to our Redwork tool, left click on it. I'm going to zoom in a bit and just touch somewhere in the red. We'll zoom back out. I'm going to hide my backdrop by right click, turn off a show backdrop, and look at that. I just created that Redwork design with the Redwork tool off of a photograph. So that's pretty sweet. Now when you go and look for Redwork designs on Google, you're going to find tons of photographs of modern ones, of old ones, stuff that people's grandparents made, that they took pictures of. Any of those photos you can use. And you can use the exact same technique that we just used to do this to do with a picture that's like a clip art picture, like that Santa Claus. We'd have been able to do that, go in and change his whole background color and everything. Not background color, the color of the outline, make sure that it was all black and be able to trace that. Okay, you can do that. The trick is the way that the auto digitizer pre-treats an image and turns it into something that can be all one color. And that's pretty cool. So, I mean, the Redwork tool is neat. It just, you gotta know its limitations. And so that's it. I hope that some people learned something off of that, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.